Hi, I'm Sergey with the Tabletop Warlords, and I've got another unit highlight for you. You all know I'm super excited about this one. We're doing the Tsan Ra Torus Squad. A Tsan Ra Torus Squad is an Isaurian tactical choice, and it comes in at only 91 points base. That is a super low base cost for an Isaurian tactical choice. A Torus Squad is a Tsan Ra unit, so it's one of the Isaurian's alien options, and when you're taking your force selections, it does count as a Tsan Ra, so you can't have more Tsan Ra than you do humans. Unless, of course, you are a true Spider Lord yourself and are playing a Tsan Ra task force. Torus Squads have an awesome base stat line. Torus Squads have an average agility of 5, they have an average accuracy of 5, but their strength is sky high at 7, making them vicious close combat units. They have a beefy base res of 6, but because they're wearing phase armor, it goes all the way up to 8. Their initiative is a fairly average 7, and their command is a fairly average 8. Their stat line is not that dissimilar to a normal pan-human soldier, but their extra res and their extra strength makes them really beefy boys. Tsan Ra, as a rule, are large. That means they have some difficulty going through some rougher terrain, they have some difficulty getting into normal-sized buildings, and they take up 2 slots in a transport. This also allows them to screen smaller units or shoot right over their heads, although shooting is not really where you want to be with these guys. A base squad consists of 3 individual models, 2 San troopers, and 1 leader. The leader obviously has the leader special rule, which allows him to reroll 1 failed res test. It's important to note that the leader has the exact same stat line as a regular trooper, so you don't really have to worry too much about losing them. As far as weaponry goes, the Tsan Ra have a unique weapon, a compression Taurus. A compression Taurus is a furious halo of compression destruction that is yoked around every individual Taurus's neck and affixed to their phase armor. When used in its ranged configuration, a compression Taurus is a relatively short range but high strike value weapon. Its effective range is only 10 inches, its long range is 20 inches, and its extreme range is 30, so it's similar to a pistol. Having the special rule compressor, this gun gets stronger as you get closer, so at each individual range band, it's going to have a different strike value. At effective range, its strike value is a whopping 3. At long range, it goes down to 2, but at extreme range, it goes all the way down to 0. No matter what range you're firing at, the compression Taurus does have the special rule no cover. That means that nobody's going to ever get a res bonus when you're firing at them in terrain. But what makes this weapon so unique and so potent is how it behaves in hand-to-hand fighting. First off, it counts as a hand weapon, so you do get +1 strength in hand-to-hand. That means when you charge into close combat with a Torus squad, they are at 7 strength, going up to 8 strength because of a hand weapon, going up to 9 strength for having charged. They only miss on 10s. Just like its closest range band, when you're in hand-to-hand combat, the strike value is 3. That's huge! But what makes this Minotaur grade weapon so crazy strong is that you have 3 attacks in close combat. You're goring them 3 times! In addition to having that cool unique weapon, the Tsan Ra Torus Squad also has phase armor, one of the best armors in Antares space. At most range bands, phase armor gives you +2 to your res. It also gives you the ability to go down, even after you've already made an action. This means that you could run, then get shot at, and then go down, essentially getting 2 actions in a round, which is super useful. Now, being a melee unit, you're not often going to want to go down, but it can get you out of a tough bind. There is one drawback to phase armor, however. When you're within 10 inches of somebody shooting at you, and this includes point-blank shooting, your armor bonus goes down to only +1. This definitely stings when that armor is on a melee unit who is most often going to be charging. That being said, the average armor of a melee unit is around 7 in Gates of Antares, so you're really not at any advantage or disadvantage there. Just like any model in Antares space, Torus squads are festooned with cool things you can upgrade them with. A Torus squad can be upgraded with a spotter drone for 10 points. This allows you to reroll 1 miss in shooting, but it also allows you to patch sight to other spotter drones. So while you're not going to really care too much about the shooting, you might want to extend the vision of an X-Launcher. You may also add a synchronizer drone to this unit for 20 points. When you activate a unit with a synchronizer drone, you may attempt to also activate another unit. They must be within 10 inches and they have to pass a command test in order for this to work. If they pass the command, they get to draw one of their die out of the bag as if it was drawn randomly, so it can get blocked. There are an infinite amount of combos that you can use using this drone. However, Torus squads are usually kind of ranging off on their own, so I don't know how often they'll be within 10 inches of another unit. Just like most squads, you can add more troopers to a Tsan Ra Torus squad at 27 points each. You may add up to 2 San troopers to this squad, making the maximum unit size for Tsan Ra Torus 5. Keep in mind that a full 5-man Torus squad completely fills a Togra transport, and almost every time you run Tauruses, you're gonna be running a Togra. You also may give each individual model in a unit a plasma grenade for 2 points a model. I don't necessarily recommend taking this upgrade, as a plasma grenade is only strike value 1. It does compound, so I guess if you're hunting a light vehicle, you can get up to strike value 5, but you already have like 15 shots at strike value 3. Just be satisfied! Your final upgrade is your standard leader upgrade. For 10 points, you can upgrade your leader from leader 1 to leader 2. This means that he'll be able to reroll 2 failed res hits. This is a little bit more useful on Tsan Ra Torus squads as they have a smaller unit, so more shots are going to be spread amongst fewer people. But if you're spending points, I would definitely just get more troopers. This is my favorite Isaurian unit. I do not make Isaurian lists that do not feature at least one Torus squad. Invariably, I will also be running a Togra, and I will put my Torus squad in that Togra transport. This heightened mobility makes up for the fact that Torus squads are large, so they can't get through rough terrain as easily, and they also cannot sprint. Furthermore, it protects a Torus squad from harm until they can get to their victims. Finally, a Togra with a plasma light support can advance, put a pin on a unit, advance, put a pin on the unit again, and then the Torus squad can charge, giving them a really soft target that they will literally always eviscerate. I also definitely recommend not running just a minimum Torus squad. They need that extra guy to have the oomph to really put it to your enemy. On top of being really awesome mechanically, the sculpt of the Tsan Ra Torus squad is so cool. They exhibit an exceptional amount of flowy movement. Their spider legs are jittering all over the place and they got cocked heads. They really are a madman's conception of a spider. All of this together makes this my favorite Isaurian unit and one of my favorite units in all of Antares space. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you like the Tabletop Warlords channel, please consider subscribing and ring that bell so you get notifications every time we come out with new content. We'd love to have you as part of the fold. As always, our undying thanks goes out to our Tabletop patrons. You guys are what make it happen.